there more pardons coming? According to Punchbowl, January 6th Select Committee members are talking to the White House about issuing pardons to those who served on that panel.
Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson, who chaired the January the 6th committee, told Punchbowl that he would accept a pardon from Biden. I believe Donald Trump when he says he's going to inflict retribution on this, Thompson said. I believe when he says my name and Liz Cheney and the others. I believe him. President Biden had told USA Today earlier in January that he would consider preemptive pardons for people he thinks Trump might target. One of those people is former Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
A GOP report in December recommended Cheney be criminally investigated. The report alleges that she witness tampered during her time on the January 6th committee.
Former Congressman and January the 6th committee member Adam Kinzinger spoke to Stephen Colbert last week about potentially receiving a pardon. Here he is.
Bernie Sanders says that he thinks Biden should offer preemptive pardons to a host of different people, including the people in the January 6th committee. I know that you said on CNN that Anderson Cooper asked you, point blank, would you take a pardon if offered to you? And your answer was?
No.
Why?
No. Because I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's...
Another January 6th committee member, Jamie Raskin, dodged a Politico reporter's question this week over whether he would accept a pardon.
Here he is.
Would you like a pardon?
Well, we don't need a pardon in any just world because we haven't committed any crimes and we haven't done anything wrong. We've just done our jobs. I know different people have different feelings about the whole pardon thing because there are these outrageous threats that are being leveled against people just for doing their jobs, like January 6th prosecutors at the Department of Justice. And so I don't know what the right answer to that is.
Senator Adam Schiff told CNN's Dana Bash earlier in January that he didn't want Biden to go down the broad preemptive pardon road.
Incoming Deputy Chief of Staff and Assistant to President Trump, Dan Scavino, tweeted, "Hey, Benny Thompson, why would you need a pardon? Tell us. What's up, Benny?" Congressman Burgess Owens tweeted last week, if individuals like Liz Cheney and Tony Fauci did nothing wrong, if all they did was serve the American people, then they don't need a pardon. The fact that Biden is considering giving out preemptive pardons is proof of the corruption that has defined his time in office. First of all, I don't think Biden should be issuing broad preemptive pardons to all of his political supporters. And are we going to get to a place where right before a rival administration enters, you just preemptively pardon all of the Democrats in Congress before a Republican takes over, and then the Republicans pardon all of the Republicans in Congress before a Democrat takes over? I guess technically we might get to that place. I think that would not be ideal to happen, so I don't think these preemptive pardons should. I also don't like, for instance, Liz Cheney and Anthony Fauci being, I think if I was Liz Cheney, I would not want to be roped in to say, oh, I should have a pardon to the same degree as Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci, from my standpoint, stands not formally accused of any sort of crime, but there are serious questions, in my view, about whether he misled Congress about the extent of gain-of-function research, not his masking recommendation or public health measures he advocated that I don't agree with, but it's not criminal to have made them. The funding for controversial research that was actually banned under the Obama administration that he remains an important advocate, a foremost advocate of doing. I found his answers about this evasive before Congress. We're still getting to the bottom of how COVID originated. I certainly would not take an inquiry into that matter off the table. I think that would be itself criminal to do so. That's very different from Liz Cheney. Do I think Republicans should spend their time when they get into office doing retribution for Liz Cheney's betrayal? No. I don't have enough independent information to verify this witness tampering claim. If she did engage in witness tampering, it would be fine to look into it. I have no idea whether that's the case or not. Do I think it's important to punish her and they should focus on it? No. But it's very different from the Fauci situation in my mind.
So, a couple of things. Firstly, in the witness tampering, that allegation emerged from Congressman Loudermilk on the Republican side, and I found the suggestion of witness tampering very unpersuasive when it was levelled against Cheney.
It was meeting with this
it was to do with Cassidy Hutchinson,
yes,
who wished to no longer retain the services of a lawyer who was in effect Trump funded and find another lawyer. And I don't see really any evidence that Cheney's conduct extended to what we would typically think of as witness tampering, which tends to be about saying a certain witness should provide information that is false or that you should tailor their testimony. I just don't see there's evidence of that. In relation to the pardons, I don't think it is a great look to preemptively pardon people. The Fauci case, you know more about the gain of function debate than I do. I remember those very heated clashes, particularly between Fauci and Senator Rand Paul over that topic. I think that in the political realm and the January the 6th realm, I understand why someone like Benny Thompson might seek one, particularly when we have figures like Kash Patel being proposed as nominees in key positions for the incoming Trump administration. A person who told our old friend Steve Bannon, we will go out and find the conspirators, referring to something sort of deep state related, or to Kash Patel's view that either the election in 2020 was fraudulent or people who protested that election were being unfairly prosecuted. Kash Patel went as far in a book to list in an appendix 60 people who he considered members of the deep state. Now, that's such an amorphous kind of term that I don't really know. That obviously doesn't provide grounds for prosecution, but it provides grounds for being suspicious of what someone like his intent would be once he's in power.
Sure. Yes, I mean, conservatives would say that that's exactly what Democrats have done to them, is find pretexts to go after them. Look, I think this is all bad. I think that
But how do you think there's been a pretext invented to go after?
Who do I think?
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for myself. I'm saying the conservative argument is that there have been investigation after investigation after investigation into Donald Trump and his associates for, they would argue, legitimate political speech in some cases, or trivialities having to do with the Mar-a-Lago raid or the campaign finance expenditures, finding any pretext to pursue criminal charges. I mean, at least in the New York case, you've agreed that it was a...
In the New York case, I am more sympathetic to that argument because I'm not sure that a private citizen who'd engaged in the same conduct would have been prosecuted. I'm far less sympathetic on the Mar-a-Lago and January the 6th cases, but I feel we've debated that quite a lot.
Yes, we have. Well, that is the attitude of Republicans, so there are certainly some of them who think if we can find areas where Democrats, where there's some leeway to say, ooh, that was maybe questionably legal in the campaign finance category, there would be action taken. Do I think that's a good idea? No. I tend to roll my eyes at the criminalization of everything, the over-criminalization of everything, and I don't think it would be good for Trump people to necessarily go down this route. I tend to doubt that they actually will go down this route, but I'm open to admitting I was wrong if we see some wave of prosecutions of, but they couldn't even, they weren't even very effective, frankly, of finding, like for the Hunter Biden stuff, the whole House inquiry, they didn't even end up producing that. But journalists produced
because he was
more persuasive,
he was innocent. That's maybe why they didn't have the evidence.
I mean, he was not innocent of, tax fraud and gun charges and maybe he was innocent of broader corruption, etc. Although journalists found more impressive evidence of wrongdoing there than the committee did. So I don't think we people have to worry, but we shall see.
We shall see.
More Rising right after this.